say how heartbroken Barack and I are about the horrific tragedy that happened earlier this week in Libya. And it's just important to say that our hearts and our prayers are with the families of those who gave their lives serving our country. You know, we have to remember that those brave Americans who died in that tragedy, and men and women just like them, they are the face of American diplomacy, truly. They are public servants who represent our country in countries around the world, and often they do it in harm's way. And they do this every day. These people, every day, they do it with courage and with grace. And it's important for them to know, for their families to know that we are so proud of them. And we are so grateful. I want us to start with that, right? Just take a moment. But I do want to thank Gene. We're going to put Gene on the road. For our outstanding work here in the state. I also want to recognize Mayor Jones. And most of all, I want to thank all of you for it is quite clear that you all seem pretty fired up. Convention in Charlotte, I'm feeling pretty fired up already. Last week, we heard from folks like President Clinton. They reminded us how much we've accomplished together, how much is at stake, and why we need to re-elect my husband for 4 years. And the honor of talking about the man I've loved and admired and why I decided to marry him. Now, ladies, understand this. When I first met Barack, now it's true, he had everything going for him. He was handsome, still is. Was his character. That he turned down high-paying jobs, and instead he started his career fighting to get folks back to work in their communities where a steel plant had shut down and jobs dried up. And I love that Barack was so devoted to his family, especially the women in his life. That he had for his mother. How proud he was that she put herself through school while supporting him and his sister as a single mom. I saw the tenderness he felt for his grandmother. I saw how grateful he was that long after she should have retired, she was still waking up every morning and catching a bus to her job at a community bank to help support his family. For promotion simply because she was a woman, but how she kept on doing that same job year after year without complaint or regret. See, with Barack, I found a real connection. Because in his life story, I saw so much of my own. Growing up on the south side of Chicago, I watched my father make that same uncomplaining journey every day to his job at the city water plant. I saw how he carried himself with that same dignity, that same pride in providing for his family, that same hope that his kids would one day have opportunities he never dreamed of. See, like so many families, right? So many families in this country, our families weren't asking for much. They didn't begrudge anyone else's success. They didn't mind if others had much more than they did. In fact, they admired it. They simply believed in that fundamental American promise that even if you don't start out with much, if you work hard and do what you're supposed to do, then you should be able to build a good life. And they believe that when you work hard and done well and walk through that doorway of opportunity, right, you do not slam it shut behind you. Barack and I, and so many of you were raised. Those are the values we were taught. We learned that how hard you work matters more than how much you make. We learned that the truth matters. So you don't take shortcuts, but then you don't play by your own rules. We learned that no one gets where they are on their own. That each of us has a community of people lifting us up, from the teachers who inspired us to the editors and we value everyone's contribution, and we treat everyone with respect. When we learned about citizenship and service, that we're all part of something bigger than ourselves. That with our freedoms come obligations, and with our blessings come a duty to give back to others who have less. These are the values that make Barack such an extraordinary husband and partner to me, and a phenomenal father to our girls. But let me tell you, I talked about Barack's values last week, not just as a wife and a mother, but also as a first lady who has seen up close and personal what being president really looks like, and just how critical those values are for leading this country. See, over the past 3.5 years, I've seen how the issues that come across the president's desk are always the hard ones. The decisions that aren't just about the bottom line, but about laying a foundation for the next generation. I've seen how important it is to have a president who doesn't just tell us what we want to hear, but who tells us the truth. And I've seen that when it comes time to make those tough calls, and everyone's urging you to do what's easy, or what polls best, or what gets good headlines. As president, you need to be truly driven by the struggles, hopes, and dreams of all of the people you serve. As president, you need a strong inner compass and a core commitment to your fellow citizens. That's how you make the right decisions for this country. That's on issue after issue, crisis after crisis. That's what we've seen in my husband. We have seen his values at work. We've seen his vision unfold. We've seen the depth of his character, courage, and conviction. I mean, think back to when Barack first took office, and our economy was on the brink of collapse. You know, newspapers were using words like meltdown and calamity, declaring Wall Street implode, economy in shock. And for years, folks had been lured into buying homes they couldn't afford, and their mortgages were underwater. Banks weren't lending, companies weren't hiring. The auto industry was in crisis. The economy was losing 800,000 jobs a month. And a lot of folks wondered whether we were headed for another Great Depression. See, this is what faced Barack Obama on day one as president.